And welcome to Dalton Catamount Football. We're here today to talk with Coach Land. We'll review the game with Harrison and look forward to our game with River Ridge. And we'll be right back after we thank our sponsors.
You know what makes Carpet Express different from other flooring companies? We care about you. So that you can make the right choice for your home, at Carpet Express we offer carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, ceramic tile, and luxury vinyl tile. We don't only sell you a product. At Carpet Express, we offer quality installation backed by a warranty. We don't stock one or two products. At Carpet Express, we stock up to 100 different products in each category at affordable prices. So come to Carpet Express where we care about you.
I'm Kelsey with the Chick-fil-A here in Dalton, and we're partnering again this year with the Dalton Quarterback Club to provide you an awesome tailgate meal each home game starting at 5:30. Be sure to be here by 6 o'clock for the catwalk and get your Chick-fil-A meal with Coke products sold separately. Chick-fil-A of Dalton reminds you to eat more chicken
and go Big Red! Go
I was sinking deep underneath.
Welcome back to the Catamount Football Show here with head coach Matt Land. And coach, this past weekend's game with Harrison, on every level you have one of those games, and I know you're proud of your effort, but sometimes it just comes up a little bit short. Talk about that game here as you look back on it.
Well, number one is, I think, the obvious, and that is, I really, sometimes you come out of losses and the old Coach Chappell cliche, it's not as good as you thought it was, it's not as bad as you thought it was. We pretty much came out of this and it was exactly like we thought it was. They played really, really well, but I thought we played really well. This isn't one of those games where we go in and we come out of it and we say, you know what, we couldn't do this and we couldn't do that. We matched them yard for yard. We just didn't match them score for score. The good thing about the game is that we got beat by a good team. And I go back and think about Coach Dye. Coach Dye used to always say, winners learn, losers blame. And the one thing that we're going to have the ability to do is we got beat by the number 4 team. We got beat by a very good football team. I thought we actually played pretty well. There's a few things we need to go back and clean up, but that's the great thing about playing a team that's not only athletic, ranked, and well coached. They're going to expose some weaknesses. So, it's just like Coach Dye used to say, winners learn, losers blame. So at the end of the day, we want to look at this. We want to take this film, look at the things that the errors that they forced us to make. Some were offensive, some were defensive, and it helps us for down the road. And I think, like I said, it's not a total loss because there's things we can learn. If it was just us being beat, I don't know that it's a great game, but I certainly think that this game is one we're going to learn some things from, and it's going to make us a better team down the road, and who knows, maybe game 12, 13, or 14, hopefully.
One of the things that stood out to me towards the end of the game, I think especially the fourth quarter, there was no quit in that Catamount team. And you saw hard hitting out there, and it was a hard hitting game throughout the contest. There was no head hanging low, just a very strong performance in the fourth quarter, hard work. And now you're proud of your young men for just that mental stamina more than anything else.
Oh, absolutely. The thing that I look for in the huddle, when we come to, when we're there in the huddle, and you look up at the score and it says 42-7 or 42-14 and you just scored. You love to hear a lineman or a defensive secondary guy say, hey, all right, hey, let's get the stop. Offense gets the ball back, they're going to score. Or to hear one of our offensive guys say, all right, all we got to do is get a stop. We score, we onside kick, we go again. So you love to hear guys trying to figure out how the win comes out instead of going, well, we just ain't got a chance. I mean, 42 points, we can't score 21 points in the fourth quarter. You love to hear the guys with some faith and hope. And like I said, the great thing about this game is you look at it, and I saw our team playing from kickoff to buzzer. kick off the buzzer. That's all we always talk about. I didn't see any give up, didn't see any quit. Once again, we got beat by a very good football team. But I look at the moments of the game where there were some changes, and those were momentum changes. We didn't reach out and capture the momentum. It might have been a stop on the opening drive. It may have been a failed interception. It might have been a third down that we needed to get off the field on defense. It might have been a big play by our special teams. So you look at those things, the great thing about those are all things correctable. There's nothing that I saw in that film Friday night that I look at that gives me worry. The big thing is we got to go to work, get fixed. I know our coaches are going to do an outstanding job coming in and practice on Monday, getting to work and beginning to figure some of these things out. And the big thing is chart the path for how we use this to make us better. It
seemed in the latter part of the game that you were able to put in a lot of things that we had not seen this year, and I think it was a confidence builder for a lot of people on that team.
Absolutely, and probably should say right off the bat, our quarterback threw the ball well. You know, one of the things as a play caller that I don't want to do is put our kids in a position where they're going to fail. You want to look for opportunities to be successful. The other night, I think our guys did a great job of utilizing and doing the game plan. They certainly really struggled stopping the buck sweep, but you can't run it every play. So we mixed it up a little bit. When I went off script in the fourth quarter because we had to, it forced me to give Ashton, who's a young quarterback, some things that maybe early in the game I didn't think he could handle, and he certainly showed that he can. So it's going to, now that we go to work this week and say, okay, we've given him this much, can we extend and give him a little bit more? And I think that's what we'll try to do this week, find out, because we're going to have to do more than just run the ball. We're going to have to do it. That's what you got to do when you play in 6A and really anywhere you play. You got to be able to do more than just run the ball, but particularly we know in our situation, everybody's keying on number one, so we got to be sure that we kind of diversify and do some more things.
This is Dalton Catamount Football with head coach Matt Land, and we'll be right back after we thank our sponsors.
Hi, my name is Charles R. Hicks Sr. I'm the owner of Transformers Transmission Complete Auto Repair Specialist, and we are excited. It is football season. Another thing that we're excited about is our new facility opening here at 844 Sugar Road in Dalton, Georgia. Our other location at 815 East Walnut Avenue is still open to help continue your car service. So just give us a call at 706-529-2706. And from the Transformers family, God bless and have a beautiful day.
With VidLink, OptiLink's exciting new entertainment platform, you'll have the freedom to stream VidLink content on multiple devices, even when away from home. Plus, with VidLink, you can access the widest array of content on the market. You'll get great features like Restart, Replay, cloud-based DVR storage, all HD programming, and so much more. Contact us today to see how you can get linked to the next big thing in video entertainment.
Buy from the pros who know at Proformance Sports Academy. Our pro shop has one of the largest selections of bats, gloves, and cleats in the North Georgia area, featuring Rawlings, Wilson, Louisville Slugger, DeMarini, Mizuno, and the largest New Balance cleat dealer in the area. We provide baseball and softball gear for travel leagues, rec leagues, middle school, and high school programs. Get your baseball and softball training, equipment, and uniforms from the former collegiate and professional players who know at Proformance Sports Academy. ProformanceSportsAcademy.com.
And welcome back to Dalton High School Catamount Football. This is an opportunity to meet one of the coaches on the staff. So, Coach, I will let you introduce yourself.
I'm Doug Byerts. This is my second year here. I coach wide receivers.
Doug, I want to ask you something here. I know you grew up around Orlando.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
So I need to ask you this, because when you're growing up, you're envious of people at the beach. You're going, what is it like to be there all the time for us here in Northwest Georgia, where it's just once a year maybe. But in Orlando, you have all these neat things growing up as a kid. Yeah. Do you get used to it, or is it still magical, these places down there?
Well, if you ask my kids, it's very magical still, but to me it got very old, and we wanted to change the season why we wanted to come up here, but it is a neat place to live, grow up. Obviously, you can take advantage of all the parks and the different things you can do, from SeaWorld to all the Disney and Epcot's and Universal Studios, and then the beach on either side of the ocean you want to go to. There's a lot of outdoor activities, obviously, to do and pick from, and entertainment-wise, and So it was fun growing up. It's a busy place, it's a hectic place, but all my family still lives there, so I get a chance to go back and visit them from time to time, and you know, still get to relive some of that, but not being it day to day.
Well, talk a little bit about your football background and what brought you to Dalton.
I started my journey, I had a chance to play college football up in a little school up in Missouri, and came home after that and finished my degree up in Lake Wales, Florida. It was really going back and forth on what I really was going to do. I ended up having a business degree, spent 8 years in business, had my own business for a little while. You know, was in the sporting goods business and apparel and different things, but just felt God tugging on my heart to get back into coaching and to invest in kids, and did that in 2005, and just been in it ever since and been running with it. And you know, it's been good. My wife is also a teacher at Dalton High School and teaches 9th grade English. So it's been nice. It's been a kind of a family affair for us in what we do and how we go about it.
Now, with wide receivers, I think sometimes the lineman is looking at, you know, how they are going out for a pass, but you know, and I see sometimes, I see just about all the time, these guys are busy, even when the ball is not near them. And you look at several times this year, there have been just very successful plays, some that have led to scores, where those wide receivers are tying up defensive backs and allowing the play to happen. Talk about wide receivers when the play does not come their way. What are you looking for?
Well, we want them to be moving. We want them, they have a responsibility. Even, you know, a lot of day and age, the old days, a lot of times they just run off the ball and there was nothing to do. But, you know, we want them downfield. We want them to be active in the play. A lot of things in the game today is the RPO movement with the run-pass options and things like that. These young guys that we have, it's been great. They're hungry, they're humble, they're coachable. They love to do the little things, and it's a nice change for us in what we're getting. I believe a lot of Jameer's success this year is due to them as well. You know, because it's hard to get those second and third level blocks, and it just takes that extra effort, and they're demonstrating that this year, which is nice to see.
What is it about this core? Of course, you've got some young guys coming in who were thrown out. I mean, these are very a young group, a sophomores, a junior. What has been the learning curve for them for this year?
Well, there's always a learning curve. We're always looking to add things and change things and tweak things to get better based on what we see defensively each week. But we knew when this freshman group last year, we had some special talent, and not only that, they were good kids. They were willing to learn, and that's it. That you put those two together, you can develop a very successful athlete. And you know, even with Hunter Nolan being a junior, you know, he was young, and we threw him in the mix last year. And a lot of the things he went through last year he's reaping the benefits this year, because he's just a hard worker. And same with Journey and Karim. They go the extra mile, and right now that's been their ammo and what they've been able to do, and you know, we're lucky we get the ball out to them, and when we're not getting the ball to them, they're looking for that block downfield. So you know, they're talented kids, but the biggest thing is you got to be coachable, and these three right now have been very coachable.
Before we let you go, talk about your family.
Like I said, my wife Wendy, she's a trooper. She's 25 years in education. She's been teaching English all those 25 years, and one of the best in the classroom. She's been a teacher of the year at a couple different districts and organizations throughout where we've been. She loves the outdoors like me, and we love hiking and doing those things and exploring a little bit. I have a daughter that's a sophomore in college. She is down in the Kennesaw area doing school down there and working. She worked for the Braves this past year and did some things with the Atlanta Braves, which was a lot of fun to see her get involved there. And then my son is a junior now here, and he's very active in the drama department and loves acting and performing, and had a job this past year where he did a professional role as well. So he was excited about that, and just neat to see how, you know, God's given us two uniquely different children with different skill sets, and to see how they're blossoming and developing and how they're using their talents to glorify Him is neat to see. So we're enjoying that and enjoying the Northwest Georgia area and the mountains and the different places you can go and explore. So, you know, it's my family in a nutshell, I guess.
Well, thank you. Well, Coach, thank you for spending time with us here
Thank you
today.
for having me.
And we will be right back. You are watching Dalton High School Catamount Football.
Ford of Dalton, your hometown Ford dealership, offers our exclusive 10-year, 150,000-mile limited warranty and our $1,000 low price guarantee. Ford of Dalton, I-75 exit 336 or fordofdalton.com.
Home is a place where all are welcome. It's where the story begins. It's not a place, it's a feeling. Home is where the heart is. At Furniture of Dalton, we handpick each of our 150 brands so that you can find your perfect heart's desire. Come see what you've been missing at Carpets of Dalton and Furniture of Dalton, the destination that brings you home. Exit 328 off I-75.
At Engineered Floors, we make sure better is in every detail. Technology has always been the foundation of Engineered Floors, pushing past what we believed was possible. Rather than having several buildings for each part of our manufacturing process, we've put everything under one roof, from beginning to end, which means easier production, faster turnarounds, and better work environments. When it comes to the environment, we've taken extra care to leave a smaller footprint, especially as we grow. Stain-resistant, pet-friendly, durable, beautiful, guaranteed. We create our flooring with our customers and their daily needs in mind. We are invested in this community and the economy that has been created by the industry we love. And after all of this, we still know that we can do more. As long as our customers need us, we'll continue to fearlessly pursue better.
Ford of Dalton, your hometown Ford dealership, offers our exclusive 10-year, 150,000-mile limited warranty and our $1,000 low price guarantee. Ford of Dalton, I-75 exit 336 or fordofdalton.com.
And welcome back to Dalton Catamount High School Football, and this is a segment where we get to meet some of our players. So gentlemen, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Fabio Garcia, and my number is 64, and I play offensive guard.
I'm Christian Morgan. I play for Dalton Catamount Football. I'm number 74, I play offensive tackle.
Gentlemen, I want to talk with you, first of all, with Christian. Talk about your moving up here. You're not a Dalton native, and a lot of people don't know your story about where you were and what brought you up here to Northwest Georgia.
Well, I lived in Panama City, Florida, and we had a hurricane that had destroyed my house, so I had to move up here to evacuate, and I ended up staying up here and playing for a great organization. So,
what was about this area? What made you choose Dalton? What impressed you first about this team coming to it, not knowing anything really much about Northwest Georgia?
Well, I was introduced to the team by my uncle. He's lived here for a long time in his life, and I heard that y'all was a really great working, hard working team, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Fabio, let me go over and ask you, growing up, two things I want to, who were your sports heroes growing up and why? And secondly, what got you interested in football?
I'll say one of my sports heroes is Cristiano Ronaldo. He plays for soccer, and well, he played as a little kid, and he was in poverty, and he just made it out, and he's like one of the top athletes in the whole world, and his story just inspired me.
And what got you interested in football?
Well, what got me interested in football was my two older brothers played for the Catamounts, and it's a really great thing to be part of a family and have other brothers who got your back.
Christian, let me ask you the same thing. Growing up, who was your sports hero, or did you have several sports heroes? And secondly, what got you interested in the sport of football?
Well, growing up, I didn't really have any sports heroes like that. I mean, only person that I really learned how to play any sports was from my dad. He really inspired me to work hard and, keep pushing towards what I want. And what interested me in playing football was when I was younger, I had a couple coaches, they came up to me and told me I was pretty big. So I just went out there and just played and just loved playing it, so I kept going.
When you get into offensive lineman, there are a lot of things about the physicalness of the game. One of those is size, obviously, just to go along with footwork and a lot of other things, and strength. Is your diet different during the football season? Is that something dictated by the coaching staff? They want you to eat differently, or are you self-disciplined, or are you eating like you normally do?
Well, I eat usually like I normally do, but we just eat a lot. Like, we have a lot of dinners, like offensive dinners and senior dinners, and there's not really a diet. You just eat a lot of.
Okay. Christian?
Well, I try to keep a healthy diet, and I just drink a lot of water. I try to drink a gallon a day, and I just try to keep I try to keep stay away from sweets and stuff like that during the season.
Let me ask you, and of course, Coach Mayo's not here this week. I want to ask you, what makes a good coach? I'll let you think about that just a second. What to you makes a good coach that helps you not just with football but with other things? What are the parts of a coach's personality that are special to you? Fabian?
A coach who cares, which Coach Mayo does really care about us, and like he cares about us, just not like in football, but like he's always asking us like how we doing in school or how we doing, like how's our day going. And he just like really caring coach.
Okay.
I want to back him up on that. He's really caring. He's always there for us, and he really tries to strive and push us through whatever. And he keeps up with us. When I was out sick for a while, he would send me text messages every day to see if I was okay, if I was getting better. So I feel like his care for us, it really helps us.
And my last question to you both, gentlemen: what has this team and the work and what you have done over this time, what has that taught you about yourself? I'll give you just a second. What has football taught you about yourself? Fabian?
Football has taught us we get through adversity. Like, a lot of things hits us, but you can overcome it all. Like, we can get together after this loss and become a really good team. And we can overcome anything you want to, as long as you set your mind to it.
Christian?
Well, it's taught me to be a hard worker. It's playing football just makes me want to keep going and striving, and it pushes me to my limits. So I feel like it's just made me a hard worker.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for spending time with us today. Right now, we will take a commercial break. Here, you're listening to Dalton High School Catamount Football.
Why should you make the switch to First Bank of Dalton?
My bank gives back to our community.
My bank understands our changing needs.
My bank made my dream home my home.
My bank has the tools I need to manage my business.
My bank helps me save.
My bank make decisions locally.
Need more reasons? Stop by and see why First Bank of Dalton should be your bank for life.
Big things are happening at Hamilton. Anna Shaw Children's Institute, People's Cancer Institute, new physician practices near you, and Hamilton Medical Center is #1 for overall hospital care. Hamilton Healthcare System, health for life.
Are you tired of driving to Chattanooga to have a great dinner? Look no further than Walnut Hill Farm right here in Whitfield County. We are now serving dinner on Thursday and Friday nights. Our team of Matt Barrett and Jason Joseph have put together what we believe is the finest menu in Whitfield County. With a wine selection of over 50 bottles and 50 miles of mountain range in the background, this will be your go-to for romantic dinners and dinner with friends. We look forward to seeing you out here, 5 o'clock on Thursday and Friday nights.
And welcome back to Dalton High Catamount Football. And I want to introduce now our punter and place kicker.
Esteban Ibarra, number 90, kicker, punter.
All right. Appreciate you coming and being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, just talk about growing up. Any sports heroes that you had when you were young, or maybe some that you have today, and why?
I had a favorite soccer player called Messi. He was been my hero since I was 5 years old, since he started. At first, I wanted to play soccer until that didn't work out for me. So I tried football, and my favorite punter right now is Marquette King because I like how the way he punts the ball, and then he's so consistent.
At what age were you? At what time in your life did you start getting interested in football?
To be honest, it was my freshman year.
Okay.
My freshman year, I wanted to try it because my friends did it, and I want to be closer to my friends. Yeah, since middle school, since I don't see them that much. So, yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: it's being someone who has that segment of the game where you're kicking. It's kind of like the fireman here in the air. You know, you're waiting around, and all of a sudden, you're called upon. How do you keep yourself into things, because you could be called at any minute for what you do? Is there some mental preparation that you get that you go through when you're on the sideline?
Well, I just try to stay calm, not get under pressure, whatever they need me. So I just try to stay calm and take deep breaths before I go out, and then just hope for the best.
Tell me what practice is like for you during the week. People see the scrimmaging, but it's just a different type of thing with a specialist. And talk about what your practice routine is during the week.
Well, we're like on the other side of the field, so we just work on our drops, trying to get consistent, and then kick off, PAT field goal. When they're like in the middle, go on the other side throwing the ball, we just get in the field, we just get the stick and kick field goals, and yeah.
And last thing I want to ask you is two questions here. First of all, what is special about this team to you? And through all of this time, what have you learned about yourself through this time with Dalton football?
I mean, it taught me how to be a hard worker. Yeah, it just taught me to be a hard worker. And then I like the atmosphere here and all that, and it's been a good ride.
What's special about your teammates?
Oh, they're hardworking, and then they're really nice and all that.
Well, great. Well, thank you for spending time here with us.
Thanks for having me
today. All right, great. And we'll be right back here watching Dalton High School Catamount football.
You know what makes Carpet Express different from other flooring companies? We care about you. So that you can make the right choice for your home, at Carpet Express we offer carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, ceramic tile, and luxury vinyl tile. We don't only sell you a product. At Carpet Express, we offer quality installation backed by a warranty. We don't stock one or two products. At Carpet Express, we stock up to 100 different products in each category at affordable prices. So come to Carpet Express where we care about you.
So, how you guys doing?
My job starts in Portland in a month.
Can we find a buyer that fast? I think we're good. Our CBX app tells us who the best potential buyers are. We can pinpoint where the hottest prospects are located, right on this map.
2 cities over.
It even lets us set the most accurate price. Wow, it really does all that. It really does all that.
Well, help us pack?
We're working on that.
Coach, we're looking at the highlights right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a great night the other night. You know, one of the things that I think you probably saw in this team, particularly as you watch through this is probably the best team. Certainly they're the number 4 team in the country. I mean, the 14 in the state. Once again, seeing our fans love how we packed the house. But this is probably a team that, position by position, may be the best team we'll face all year. They were solid, had numerous Division I players, and was a very, very good football team. Great job of Brett Bagley getting out front right there. Jameer had another stellar night, 29 rushes for 222 yards. Only had 1 touchdown. You see Ashton right there doing a good job, a quarterback for us. And once again, you know, the thing that you saw here, these guys did a great job of tackling in the secondary. That's kind of one of the things that's been lacking in some of the other games. But once again here, until this game, he'd only been tackled one time in the secondary, and that was last week by Creekview, by one person. So that goes to show you this is a better tackling team. And they truly, once again, a great block right there by Brent Bagley. He and Fabio Garcia, you're going to see them 53 and 57. They did a lot of running the other night. Great job right there, Hunter Nolan and Mauricio Quintero, another young man that stepped in here. And right here, we wanted to run the power right here. Ashton saw something here, so he pulled it and felt like the spot would have given us the first down. Not sure what this official saw from the sidelines. Certainly he saw it differently than we did. And then they came back right here, and we've got a great opportunity for an interception. Good job by Parker Adams being in the right place. Would have loved to have had that one because I think there's a lot of green grass and some white lines between him and the goal line. Good job by Christian Lama, Lane Cox, Ryan LaRue. Another solid game by them. You see a little X stunt in the middle, and a great job of Christian coming off of that right there. Tyson Swope didn't have a lot of tackles the other night, but played an outstanding game containing and turning things in. Right here, Gabe Hill and Parker Adams. We lose our outside contain right there, and we let them go in right there and score on the first series and make the score 7-0. Once again, I don't know why they were kicking it to us. This young man had the opportunity and the ability to kick it out, but you're going to see a great return right here. Hunter Nolan, this is a young man we've got to get the ball into his hands more. He is an exciting player and certainly a guy that we enjoy seeing what all he can do. Another good job right there, Brant. You see Josh Moore getting down and Kareem Page. Kareem's a solid young receiver for us. We played about 3 or 4 sophomores the other night, and it gives us a really opportunity. Once again, right here, and you see right there at tackle, Christian Morgan doing another fine job right there. He and Saul Espino.
People think it's just offensive linemen here doing the blocking, but you look, the wide receivers and Joshua coming out of the backfield, it is a total team effort there.
Absolutely.
And I know Coach Mayo's like to see those big boys running downfield.
No doubt, and it is. It's a complete team victory. Here they stopped us on downs, and all great teams do this right here to you. They make you pay for it. And that's what they did. One shot down the field off a little play action and picked up 7 points. So now we're 14-0 and not got out of the first quarter yet. This is a young man, Maurice Howard. Was glad to have him back. He's been gone the last couple of weeks. Now, one of the things that you'll recognize is Osvaldo Beltran did not play this week. Osvaldo got hurt last week, had a very unfortunate incident happen with one of the Creekview players, and wound up really messing his ankle up pretty bad. We're hoping that he'll be back in a couple of weeks. So we had a new starter in there, and that allowed us the opportunity to get a little more work with some of these names. But there you see Maurice on another good carry. Then we have Jameer come in right here, and this is just me and Jameer getting into that second level and creating an opportunity to score. The only touchdown of the night, certainly that was one of the things that changed the other night as well. But like I said, a great run right there, but he had great blocking. You'll see right here, good block down by Christian Morgan, 74, and then great kicks by 57 and 53, and then you see good blocking down the field by 5 and 24. I almost feel like a NASCAR guy. It's crazy. But anyhow, great job right there by those guys getting down the field right there.
I thought it was great that Jameer had Maurice to spell him, and Maurice came in and did such a good job.
And you know what? I'm glad you bring that up, Stephen, because that's my fault from the other night. The other night we burned out Jameer very quickly, and I did not sub Maurice in enough. That's on me. I should have got him in a little bit more, but he was coming off of an injury, and to be quite honest with you, we just didn't want to push him. This week it will probably be a little different story. Right there, just a great job by their offense, taking the ball down, throwing a little RPO. We get called out of position, and they take it and score. So now we're 21-7, and we're saying to ourselves, okay, let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do. So we stay with our milk and bread, which is basically running buck sweep, but we do run a little bit of inside zone with it, and a great job right there. You see Maurice. He gave us some tough yards. We got probably as much out of him this first week as we could, and as I mentioned earlier, we hope that we can get a little bit more out of him this next week. You see Big Manny in there. Manny had another solid game. You see right here, blocking on the edge, and then Jameer reversing course. And a good job right here, just picking up what we could get, but picking up the first down, keeping that clock. But once again, we have to punt. We only punted twice the other night. And a good job right here, Harrison Jones, with a good snap and then getting down and down the ball inside the 10-yard line, which is a very important thing to do. This quarterback is a really good quarterback. If he was the young man that 2 years ago spelled Justin Fields. And I remember watching him the day he came in, and I really said to one of our defense coaches, I don't know that he doesn't make them a better team, because everybody watches Justin Fields. This guy does a great job of balancing the offense and getting it to all the playmakers, and that's what happened to us the other night. We just couldn't cover all the different venues, all the different people that they had.
And that just stood out with Harrison. They had so many playmakers. It's like you're having to defend the whole field. I know that was just such a big challenge for the defensive side of the ball.
I mentioned earlier we played 4 sophomores. They only played 1 sophomore, 3 juniors, and everybody else is seniors. So anyhow, we'll be back after this for the second half.
Home is a place where all are welcome. It's where the story begins. It's not a place, it's a feeling. Home is where the heart is. At Furniture of Dalton, we handpick each of our 150 brands so that you can find your perfect heart's desire. Come see what you've been missing at Carpets of Dalton and Furniture of Dalton, the destination that brings you home. Exit 328 off I-75.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reginald Sherrill. Are you tired of sweaty underarms and dealing with deodorant stains on your clothes? We're performing a procedure called Mirror Dry. It's safe, non-invasive, sweat and odor-free, deodorant-free. It is clinically proven and FDA approved. I've had the procedure and it really works. The procedure takes about 1 hour, it's local anesthesia, and works immediately. Call our office, Dalton Plastic Surgery, 706-226-3311. 706-226-3311.
And we're back. Coach, let's look at the second half highlights.
Yeah, it was certainly a game. Offensively, we wanted to stay with what we were doing because it was working. We matched them yard for yard, as we mentioned. We just weren't matching them score for score. And that was something we need to focus on. Right here, the defense does a great job. I thought they came out with some great fire in them. Once again, Christian Lama has been such an anchor for us and a cornerstone. And right there, Gabe Hill, just a great job. Parker Adams had a solid game the other night, and it was good to see some big plays like that right there. We got a little pressure. Once again, came out and really felt good about this first drive, and we've kind of got them. A great replay right there. You see great effort, Tyson Swope, as I mentioned earlier. So we had them right where we wanted them, and then they got a key third down right there that picked the ball up, and at that point they began to move the ball down the field. Got a little wind behind their back, and here you just see just an outstanding effort by their number 32. Good job by our guys, but once again, they go up now 35-7. I love this, though. Our guys didn't panic. We went 3 and out. We had to start throwing the ball, which is not what we want to do. And so we went 3 and out, put our defense back on the field. Hated to do that, but that's kind of the way it is when you're kind of out of your game plan, something that we've tried to do with most of the teams we've played. Good pressure right here by Gabe Hill, and then lo and behold, the young man gets back on it. He was a very strong man, good size, and like I said, you could tell right there, just keeps a balanced head on him and did a great job of not panicking. But he takes the ball down the field with these guys. They run a little inside reverse. Big hit by Lane Cox. Lane played solid for us again the other night. So we go into the fourth quarter. They score and go up 42-7. And now our guys say, okay, we got to, yes, you don't know what's about to happen, but here's what we're going to do. Can we keep fighting? And these guys sure did. We see right here a great job. Good throw into the boundary. Get it out to Hunter Nolan. Get the clock stopped. We began to try to work those boundaries a little bit. Just like I said, try to get as much yardage as we can and then get out of bounds. Try to make that clock stop without having to burn your tight ends. And then right here you see we run just a little buzz route. Good job of Hunter catching the ball. It's thrown behind him, but he picks up about 4 or 5 yards. Stop us there on downs, and we have to come back here. And once again, big hit right there and a fumble. Great job by Christian Lama coming in there with a big hit. And like I said, putting the ball on the ground and getting a fumble recovery right there by Caleb Hernandez, if I'm not mistaken. So you'll see right there, boom, big hit right there. Everybody jumps on the ball. And right there, yeah, it is. Caleb comes in from the backside and gets on it, fights for it. So then they got a little bit of life. So here we go. We'll try to see what we can do. We throw a little bitty inverted screen right here. Great job by Hunter Nolan. We get him up the field, and like I said, he does a great job trying to fight out of bounds. We at least get the first down, stops the clock. We burn a few minutes, and then right here, just a good throw right here and into Kareem Page, sophomore to sophomore. That's promising to see that right there. And once again, love to see the challenge. And this is good coverage. This is just a good throw and a good catch right here.
It was well defended, but the throw had to be there, the catch had to be made, and it was run very perfect.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then we came back just trying to, once again, stay in the boundary, get as much as we can, and then get out of bounds, try to let that clock stop. So once again, another good play right there. We pick up about 6 or 7, put the ball there. And then once again, you're going to see right here, we want to throw a little bitty route. And, Ashton does what Ashton does. We talk about that a little bit. The athletes, we give them a little bit of freedom. Here, this is just great coaching. He sees that everybody's covered in man coverage. And then what does he do? He sees the middle open field and runs it in. So great job right there. So now we go 42-14. And very important. Now we got a little bit of life. Now you're hearing the conversations in the huddle. All right, let's do our job. Let's get in there. Let's stop them. Let's stop them, D. Let's get in there and stop them. If we can get in there and stop them, we can get the ball back to the offense, and we'll see what we can do. Once again, good pressure. And you'll see right here a good backside pursuit by Ryan LaRue and John Ross. A great job there. Once again, in the middle, Coy Gray gave us some good minutes the other night. And they come in, and once again, kicker field goal. Had maybe the distance, I don't know, but for sure his towards was off. So we run a little quick screen out here to Jameer. Jameer does a great job, picks up about 12 yards. Little good play design that we have there to take advantage. See Big Manny coming in there trying to protect him. I don't know why they didn't blow the whistle. So then we come back with a little sprint out route, try to throw it down the field. He reads his keys, and another good job by Hunter, just picking up what he can and getting out of bounds.
Matt, I know you're just excited to see these young men, regardless of the score. There's hard playing going on out there.
Look,
the enthusiasm is still there.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. Once again, part of any game is growing up. And right here, this is another sophomore to sophomore. You see right here, Journey Boston. Great job getting the ball, getting down the field, making some people miss. I mean, you can tell he only weighs about $135, but at the end of the day, he's big heart, does his best. Good job right here. Our line getting out front, Saul. You see, once again, my two guards there, 57 and 53, Idre Garcia and Brett Bagley getting downfield, and then, of course, Mauricio Quintero's down there. Kareem Page, a lot of those guys. That's what you want. You want to see guys around the ball and still fighting. So now we're 42-21. We're closer than we were, but regrettably we weren't able to do anything with it. And once again, just a great job to this team. Once again, I think you're going to certainly see both these teams and down deep in the playoffs. And who knows? Maybe we see the Hoyas again. But once again, great coaching staff there. Coach Dickman, he did an outstanding job, and we look forward to this week against River Ridge.
All right, and we'll be right back with Dalton Catamount Football.
Why should you make the switch to First Bank of Dalton?
My bank gives back to our community.
My bank understands our changing needs.
My bank made my dream home my home.
My bank has the tools I need to manage my business.
My bank helps me save.
My bank make decisions locally.
Need more reasons? Stop by and see why First Bank of Dalton should be your bank for life.
Big things are happening at Hamilton. Anna Shaw Children's Institute, People's Cancer Institute, new physician practices near you, and Hamilton Medical Center is #1 for overall hospital care. Hamilton Healthcare System, health for life.
Are you tired of driving to Chattanooga to have a great dinner? Look no further than Walnut Hill Farm right here in Whitfield County. We are now serving dinner on Thursday and Friday nights. Our team of Matt Byerts and Jason Joseph have put together what we believe is the finest menu in Whitfield County. With a wine selection of over 50 bottles and 50 miles of mountain range in the background, this will be your go-to for romantic dinners and dinner with friends. We look forward to seeing you out here, 5 o'clock on Thursday and Friday nights.
Welcome back to Dalton Catamount Football, here with Coach Matt Land. And Coach, coming up, the River Ridge Knights. And you look at this team, you look at the last 2 weeks they've played, they've had some impressive victories, and they are a much better team that we're going to see this year.
No doubt, no doubt. First of all, Tyler Wynn, a good friend of mine, is no longer the head coach there. Mike Collins, another friend of mine, who was at Wheeler for about 14 years as an offensive coordinator and as a head coach. Is now the new head coach. So you can kind of throw all of your experiences, game film, expectations, and predictions, you can kind of throw them all away because they're a completely different team. And you can even tell by when you see the video looking at their sidelines. Completely different team, not better or worse, just they're a little bit different. From an offensive standpoint, they're a very multiple formation. They want to be gun a lot, but Coach Collins' reputation is as an offensive coordinator, so I think he'll bring some of that to bear. I'm sure he's got a hold of some old Altoona film over the last couple of years, so he'll look at that. So I'd look for a little bit under center, but I think the majority of what he'll run will be off. He runs pistol where the back is positioned exactly behind the quarterback, and that's significant because what it doesn't allow you to do is create a tendency. You know, if you watch us and Jameer's on this side, then you know if away from him, we'll run these plays. To him, we'll run these plays. Flip side of the coin. You don't have that. It's a neutral position. It's behind the quarterback, so we call that a pistol position. So really, you can do either side if you want to. There's some challenges from a timing standpoint, but certainly it'll be a good mix of a lot of different things. Now they will run a tight end with their flex formations, which you don't see a lot, and that's a good thing as well. From an offensive standpoint, because it predicts where you put what we call the 3 technique. That's the guy who plays over the guard. That's the guy you like to trap. So now we're going back to his eye days. So even though he's spread, there's a lot of an eye feel. So I think you're going to see a lot of that. From a defensive standpoint, they're predominantly 3-4. That's what they want to be in. We've seen a lot of 3-4. Creekview was 3-4. Harrison this week was 3-4. When I look back at their films, the one thing that I see is they have a tendency to be a little bit of a copycat from the standpoint that whatever has worked in the past against that team, they may adopt a little bit of that. And so I look for, like for us, we're going to look at a lot of Harrison film this week to prepare us for this film, because I think some of what they may give us is nothing they've shown before. It'll actually be some stuff that we saw this week. And so I look for that to be another part of it. And then last, special teams, they're probably what I would call average. They're not bad, but they're certainly not what we've seen the last 2 weeks and what we're going to see the last 2 weeks of the season, where you've seen probably 3 of the best kickers in the state. And certainly probably one of the top 10 in the country. They'll just be a normal high school kicker, which gives us a little bit of an opportunity to maybe involve our return game a little bit better. So, like I said, that's kind of an overall perception of the game, and I really feel like they're a very, very much improved team, and we're going to have to be hitting on all marks for us to feel like we can have a very good outing against this team.
You're watching Dalton Catamount Football with head coach Matt Land, and we'll be right back after we thank our sponsors.
Hi, my name is Charles R. Hicks Sr. I'm the owner of Transformers Transmission Complete Auto Repair Specialist, and we are excited. It is football season. Another thing that we're excited about is our new facility opening here at 844 Sugar Road in Dalton, Georgia. Our other location at 815 East Walnut Avenue is still open to help continue your car service. So just give us a call at 706-529-2706. And from the Transformers family, God bless and have a beautiful day.
With VidLink, OptiLink's exciting new entertainment platform, you'll have the freedom to stream VidLink content on multiple devices, even when away from home. Plus, with VidLink, you can access the widest array of content on the market. You'll get great features like Restart, Replay, cloud-based DVR storage, all HD programming, and so much more. Contact us today to see how you can get linked to the next big thing in video entertainment.
Train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy. Get one-on-one training from former professional and collegiate players, featuring indoor baseball and softball training facilities, ground ball area, 3 pitching mounds, and 4 batting cages. Performance Sports Academy is also available for team rentals. Call 706-537-3169 today and train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy.
Welcome back to Catamount Football, and one of the great privileges here is being able to sit with Stephen Gregg, the voice of the Catamounts. And Stephen, one thing that I just wanted to ask you, tell me a little bit about, first of all, we talked last year about how you got into the radio, and so people will be a little familiar with that story. But I want to dive a little bit deeper this week, or this year. I want to kind of get a little bit deeper. Talk a little bit about your preparation, because you can't just turn on the radio and suddenly you're just talking. Talk a little bit about how do you prepare during the week, and your counterpart and cohort there, Patrick Gregory. How do you guys prep for Friday night? Because it's a game for you just like it is for us.
Well, I've been doing this since 1983, started in Dothan, Alabama. and there was something that was invented between then and now, which is a huge help, and that thing is called the internet.
Oh, wow. Novel concept.
And I won't say in the early days, it's really not that far ago. You simply had to maybe call the newspaper, the sports editor from the visiting town and get information. You're not going to call the school and get anything from them.
Right.
And you would purchase newspapers that were statewide and try to get something, and maybe talk to people who were associated with the program that Friday before the game started. So it is much easier now. You can get rosters, you can look at film, you can get statistics, and you can go back several games so you know what is going on, and it makes it so much easier. I would say generally about 3 hours per week just goes into a Friday night broadcast. This is my 21st year here in Dalton, and second year with Patrick Gregory. And when we get to the stadium each night, it is a matter of simply getting everything together. You want to keep up with statistics, you want to keep up with sponsors. You've got to have everything ready to go. You've got to have your names right, which sometimes for
That's
me,
a challenge, isn't it?
For me, it's a big challenge at times.
That's awesome.
But there's just and it's fun work. It's a labor of love. But it is work as well. A lot of people don't realize that. You're having to talk, solid for 3 hours, and sometimes you're having to be a little creative there because you're not just describing the game. You've got to add a little bit more to it as well. But for Patrick and I, it is a labor of love, and we love being here with this program. And Jeff McKinney is a good help to us as well.
Sure, he's a great resource.
Providing rosters for the other teams and other little tidbits that can add to our broadcast. So that has been huge, having Jeff McKinney on our side as well.
Well, I've heard your pronouncement for the last 15 years of the Westwood Talent Show, so you have no shortage of material to always fall back on. If that big, all right, I'm going to ask you another question, and this is the one I always ask because I want to know this. So many facets to radio, even though the different social mediums that are out there. What's your favorite part about radio? I mean, when you really think about what your job encompasses, what's your favorite part being on the radio?
Well, I think I teach fourth grade at the Westwood School, and I teach my kids voice through writing because they cannot, a reader cannot see or feel things. And I think the big challenge for radio is to take what is seen but add the emotion of the game, try to make a story. Sometimes you go and revisit things that happened earlier in the game because there is drama.
Sure.
And there is us versus them. And some of, Larry Munson was great. He's one of my idols.
He was
because
a great one,
it was Georgia against the world,
Yeah.
And I don't care if they're beating somebody 48-0 and we haven't been able to run the ball all day. You've got to make it interesting. And that's the challenge that I love, is creating that picture for those who can only hear, to provide an emotion for those that can only hear. And I think that's the big challenge that all radio people enjoy, is that challenge to put what is happening at that stadium over across the airwaves.
Well, you do an outstanding job. It's something we appreciate you, and like I said, Patrick do an outstanding job. A lot of times I will go back and listen to the game, particularly if I want to go back and watch it from a web stream or something. I want to hear you guys' voice and hear your perspective, because it's certainly a different perspective than what I have been on the field. So as always, we appreciate what you do and look forward to hearing you many years. Hopefully I'll be able to hear you for a lot. So thank you very much.
Well, Coach, it's been great being with you here, filling in for Coach Mayo, but I know you've got some special things you want to say about this weekend and some appreciations.
Absolutely. Number one appreciation that I want to be sure that we get out, so many people came down to Harrison. You're talking about a school that's got 2,800 students. You're talking about a school that's got over 1,400 athletes. Now, to contrast that against us, a school with 2,000 students with 412 athletes. So that was the competitive setting for the other night. You would not have known that. Our fans filled, and you'll see when we went through the highlights, how sideline to sideline, bleacher to bleacher, top row to bottom row, our fans filled our section. And you look on their side, which you're not going to see on the film, there's a good crowd, but it's not a Dalton crowd. So I just want all those people that you make the time, you pay the money, you drive down, you have to eat somewhere you're not used to eating. I really appreciate it. Our boys, our players appreciate it. Our coaching staff. We really appreciate the people that come and support the Catamounts. It makes we talked about this a little bit last week with Coach Mayo. It's funny. Nobody likes coming to Dalton. They don't like the drive, but they love when we go see them. They don't bring anybody up here, but yet we take a lot of people to see them. And so we're never going to look at ourselves equivalent to those fans, because I think we have some of the best fans in the world. Obviously, the other thing is Quarterback Club does an outstanding job each week. We talk about the things they do, and once again, another week of charter bus rides and Kentucky Fried Chicken. It doesn't make the loss go away, but it made it a little bit more enjoyable, just a little bit more enjoyable. And last, I tell you, our band just does an outstanding job. And a lot of times we go inside and we're not able to hear the band, and we're not able to kind of see what goes on and the hard work that goes into it. But because of the situation obviously at Harrison, we were literally right there on the track. There was not a lot of place for us to go. And so I got to, for the first time, really hear the band and just see the things that they do. And I just want them to know they're such an integral part of Friday night. And unlike some of these bands, like Sequoia, I won't call any names, that don't bring their bands when they come up here, our group travels with us each and every week. And I tell you, that just, once again, another thing that makes this Catamount experience special. So once again, thank you for the Quarterback Club. Appreciate the band for all they do. And obviously, you and Patrick, thank you for everything that you do, because I think you bring a very, very important part of Catamount football to life. So thank you very much, and look forward to another good year.
Well, thank you, Coach, and thank you for being here with us today. This has been Dalton Catamount Football. Have a good day.
Same cat time, same cat channel. Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.